All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and let's talk about, well, the problem of burnout in our industry. Now, recently I saw an interesting take on burnout, and I thought I would share the thoughts that came from that. His statement was, burnout is caused by extreme effort with no reward. I didn't come up with this statement. I'm just repeating it. Now, first off, we got to talk about it because I know if I don't, everybody in the comments will. Flat rate, when you get into this industry and you start really humping it and you're making 60, 70, 80 hours a week, you have that reward. You get those paychecks. The problem comes is that it's repeated over and over and over again as a flat rate technician. The reward doesn't change, but your effort has to stay high in order to maintain high hours. We all know that about flat rate. It's a treadmill. You got to keep just pumping. And unfortunately, that is a reason that a lot of flat rate techs burn out, is the carrot doesn't really change, but you got to keep putting in maximum effort. And that's a problem that this discussion's probably not going to help, but I need to point that out is yes, it's one of the reasons why a lot of flat rate guys wind up going over to an hourly position is because they burn out on that continuous treadmill. But let's talk generalities in the industry. We've all been there with the, if we don't get this car out of here, we're going to lose the shop mentality that, well, you know, oh, I got to move, get this car out. And if that's constantly happening, the thing is like in most instances of the average technician that's hourly with commission, even flat rate, that'll burn you out faster than being on the treadmill of flat rate every day of the week. Because if you're constantly under that pressure, this car has to go this time, you're going to burn your people out a lot faster. It's simple as that. They have no reward. You know, 9 times out of 10, you meet the deadline, you get it out the door, and they're like, yeah, thanks. Okay, by the way, this one has to go today. And what happens is you put a hourly commission technician on the same kind of treadmill that a flat rate tech is. Unfortunately, that is a big issue in this industry already, is the treadmill of more. I talked about this in another video. You know, I saw all these shop owners talking about how their grand plans to make more money next year, 2024, and none of it was about expansion. Some of it was raising their rates a little bit, raising their profit margins, adjusting their profit margins, but I bet a lot of it simply was just pushing more through the shop without any more staff. And that puts a huge burden on your staff. You know, I'm sorry, but most shop owners, most bosses, not even unique to the automotive industry, don't do a good job of encouraging and reinforcing when their staff does take care of things. Just as a fact, it's across every industry. Now, a perfect example of this is years ago, we had a technician at the old shop. He's no longer there, but every Thursday or so, he would just get slammed with sold tickets from earlier in the week that it took him all week to get approval for. And Thursday and Friday, he was having to just bust it out and, 20 hours on Friday before he could go home, just killing himself every week. He got on that treadmill, not because he wanted. He was not doing enough during Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It was always Thursday and Friday where he'd get slammed. And it was always gotta go. And he very quickly burned out on that. Now, in my case, I had literally no control over that. There wasn't anything I could do other than go, well, hold that over till next week. It just isn't going to go. I didn't have any control over anything else on that thing, and I couldn't help him. It literally was, I didn't sell it. I didn't promise it. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to help you? It's about all I could do as far as that. And he burned out. He left the shop because that kept happening over and over and over again. Every Thursday, he'd get inundated with sold tickets that had to go on Friday and really didn't, get much in the way of appreciation. That was one of the things that he complained about when he was doing all that stuff, is he never really saw appreciation from the management. He just, is expected, just like a lot of flat rate techs are. They're just expected to perform miracles on getting cars done. And it just doesn't help the situation that technicians don't feel appreciated. The reward part of the statement earlier, burnout is caused by extreme effort, no reward. No reward doesn't necessarily have to mean money. It could literally mean appreciation, legitimate, honest appreciation of what they do for your company. And that's something that most business owners, and again, across every industry, don't do well. Let's be honest. Most shops, they'll throw a pizza party at them every now and then, or, steaks or whatever. And it's kind of, they throw a couple bucks at the situation and they don't actually show the appreciation they should to the staff for what they do. And that's a problem in our industry that we need to resolve. If you constantly are pushing your technicians like that on Friday, gotta go, and they're, burning out every Friday. Like the technician I was talking about, he'd go home and pass out, and he wasn't be able to do anything he wanted to do on the weekend because he was exhausted from busting it out on Thursday and Friday. Appreciation for that would only go so far in his situation. He needed that situation resolved with management that never got resolved. It kept having to be done on Friday, kept having to go. And I don't want to see technicians burn out. Technicians that burn out really don't help the industry. All burnout does is push people out of this industry. And when I mean in this industry, like, oh, look at my comments about technicians going to fleet shops from retail. Because guess what? They get off that treadmill of gotta produce. Oh, it's gotta go today or we're gonna lose the shop. That mentality is gone at a fleet shop. It's like, oh, get it done when you get it done. And they burn out from this part of the industry. And that has led to a lot of the problems finding good technicians in this industry. Is we take the good ones, put them on the treadmill, however you pay them, run that treadmill until they drop, leave the industry or go to fleet or something else. And you wonder why we can't find technicians, is because almost every shop does this. They put them on a treadmill, run them till they drop, replace them, repeat. You're just burning out your staff, burning out technicians in the industry. It is a problem. Just like flat rate. Flat rate technicians are on the treadmill by choice, but they're eventually going to burn themselves out running that treadmill. And that's one of the things I've talked about with flat rate, is I'm never going full 100% as fast as I can. One, mistakes happen. And two, I don't want to be dead on the weekend and sore and beat up. And I want to enjoy my weekend. So careful with the treadmill. The harder you push, the more you got to show your appreciation toward your staff, period. If they're running that treadmill and they don't feel like they're appreciated for what they're doing for you, they're going to burn out. You're going to lose them to a fleet job or a different industry, period. We need to deal with this. I know it was kind of preachy, but it's a big issue. So thanks for watching. As always, I am the Flat Rate Master.